So happy to have you join us. We are going to do a webisode on sliding pop-up box cutting dies, brand new out of the Fabulous Folded. And this is what they look like. Just really, really neat. Come play with us. There is a story behind this cutting die. Actually, there are probably stories behind most of our products. But a couple of years ago, Teresa sent me this card. And I thought it was so much fun. In fact, the flaps can pop down and you get just a really fun look. I thought it was just clever. She used the Christmas die cuts on it and I loved it. So when we decided to launch the Fabulous Folded cards, I asked her if we could use this, and she of course said yes. So it's going to come in a package like this, and there are 3 dies, as you can see. So they're all full metal, so they're not going to be wiggly or anything. They're just really very solid. And let me show you the construction now that you've seen what happens with them. Let me just see. Here is the base. This is the outside. As you know, when it cuts, it goes backwards. So that's the base. Then that's a base A. That's the outside of it. There's a base B, and there is also the pocket. Okay, so we're going to use these all together, obviously. Done them in different colors just so it's a little bit easier to see, and then I'll show you 3 projects with 3 techniques that our Teresa has done. So we're going to start, in fact, I do want to show you this. On the back of the package, as is our practice, you have step-by-step instructions as well as drawings, and you can see the flat card as well as standing up. So just a complete story right there. So I'm just going to follow these steps, and that's what you'll get when you get this cutting die. So the base, this is the base A. And you do want to use, in fact, for using these cards, in fact, most of the cards, you want to use some extra sticky tape. This is the kind with the orange liner. And you'll also want a bone folder. At least that's what I like and what Teresa likes. So you're going to have this piece. This is the way it die cuts. Put just a piece of the extra sticky tape right along that tab. That tab is a connecting tab. Then we're going to take base B and we're going to flip them over, okay? So base A, this is the inside, and base B is the inside. Okay, now we're going to remove that liner, which would be really nice. It just came off so smoothly, okay? And then we're going to line this up and attach them. And you'll notice that there is a little, there's a little notch in on the tabs. That's so that they lay nice and flat. And you want to make sure that this lines up the bottom and the top. Okay, now that's the first step. Then we're going to set this aside for a moment, and we're going to go to the pocket. Okay, the pocket is the piece that's going to slide, and it's going to wrap around this piece, which is the slider. Okay, so the pocket is like this. Same thing on the long piece. You're going to want to put that extra sticky tape. Generally, you want to put it next to the fold, but not over it, just next to it. Okay, then we're going to, all of these are scored. We're going to fold both of the long pieces in a mountain fold, as I just did. And then we're going to remove that liner again. And we're going to wrap this around and close this up. Same thing, just make sure that they're together, and that's very, very smooth. Now the other thing that we do is we're going to take these 2 flaps and we're going to bend them back and put extra sticky tape on those 2. Okay, so that's that step. Now, I'm going to go back here, and I don't know that I said this, but we're going to fold all of these into a valley fold. So, and this is going to create our box with the flaps. So all of those get folded. And then this is how it's going to come together, is like this, but that slider is going to be on the inside, this is going to be on the outs. It's going to be the outside of our box, okay? So those two pieces. Getting the idea? Okay, now we're going to take this and we're going to slide it onto that protrusion. It's just going to slide like that. Now these two pieces are going to hold it in place, and we want this to go right here, right over that area. So I'll remove the tape from one side. By the way, it's like 90 degrees in here right now, so things are a little sticky. Okay, here we go. And I'll remove the other one while we're at it. And that extra sticky tape is just going to keep everything running smoothly. Okay, now again, this is already on that slider, and this is going to go right here because we need this to be the front of our box, okay? So I'm going to bring this, and just like the first one, we're going to line it up with the base and make sure it goes right where it's supposed to, which it's going to line up with the score. And okay, then this is going to come around. You'll put extra sticky tape there, and this is going to attach onto this piece just like so. So that creates our box, and if you want to, you can fold these down or you can leave them up, whatever is your choice. And I'll hold that there just to let you see what's going to happen. Okay? So it's just really slick, absolutely neat. And this is the only time I've seen this type of card. Now, Teresa has decorated them. Well, of course she has, because she's Teresa. So let me show you some ideas that she has. So you saw the Christmas card I got. You saw the teacups and roses. Now this one, isn't this pretty? How pretty is that? And how much bigger it is with this arch. How fun. Okay, you see it just slides. It's just really, really nice. Now, what did Teresa use? Okay, for her card base, she just used white cardstock. Okay, so that was her first choice. Now, to cover the front of the box and the inside of the box, you see she's got the dots. She's used the lavender, the blue on the back also, and on the inside. And she also put pattern paper on the slider because you do see it as the card is moving. So she just puts it on that pocket that we attached, okay? And what she used was the Dotted Duos #2. Now what's nice about this is you get a large dot on one side and the smaller dot on the other side of the papers. So you can see that that's going to work very nicely. Now, she also used, let me get the cutting die, and this is a new cutting die. It is our arch. And you can see that she cut out that piece to have her focal. And doesn't that just do a really nice job? It just takes a smaller piece into a larger piece, but the mechanism is the magic. Well, there's lots of magic going on here. Okay, so she used that to do an arch, so that worked out well. And then she did use several of the other cutting dies, and I'll just show you the ones that she did. So to make her flowers, in fact, yes, let me just show you those flowers. Those flowers are a bit of glitter. In fact, Steve, can we pop in pretty close right now? I'll show you what they are. So you can see, yeah, there you go. And you can see the layers that she did. Now, she used several cutting dies, so bear with me. She used the bigger blooms. Yes, we can go back out. Thank you, Steve. The bigger blooms, and you can see makes the bigger flower. She did a couple of them. So we've got 4 layers here. But then she also went into the tiny flowers and leaves and did that for the smaller flowers. Now, for that wonderful spray of green, she used the stems and leaves. Now you might think, gosh, this looks too big to go with that flower, and especially with the tiny flowers, but you can see that it just works perfectly. And you can, of course, cut them down and have them whatever size you want. But this has kind of become a universal for us. Now, what did she use? She used the Stardust glitter papers. Now, they come in a pack of 10, lilac, pink, French blue, and lime. And fun to have those colors. In fact, I just think it's really neat how she did the colors all together, with that gray being behind the flowers on top, and then the dots in the center, and just really fun. So she's got the lilac here and the lilac. She's got the French blue with the blue here, the pink to add accent, and the green, of course, for the stems and leaves. Works really nice. Now, to do some accents, she added her greeting, which is happy birthday with those hearts. This is the tiny words and phrases. It comes black, white, gold, silver, and brown. Obviously, she used the black right there. Now, to add some accent, she also, you see the center of the flowers? She used the sky wishing bubbles and baubles. So she used the half round ones in the center of her flowers. Again, that soft blue. So that worked out well. Now, many of you have seen our thin line dazzles, and I just think they do such a nice job of finishing. So this is out of the glitter pack, and the glitter pack has 10 sheets, and they're in all different colors, and they just do a nice job. And you can see she used 2 there, 1 there, 1 there. Now, Teresa did something a little surprising with this, and she finished the back side of it. Now, normally the flaps here are going to stand up, but you can score them and let this be a 3-dimensional, viewed from all sides, stand up, pop up card. Isn't that fun? Live, laugh, and love. So just duplicated the flowers. So really very, very nice. And then it can come like that. And then there's just kind of a surprise as everything opens up and moves. So very fun. Okay, I told you there'd be 3 for a very different look. This is what Teresa has done. And this is using, well, let me just show you first. So, okay, so you've got the card, it arrives like that, and then you go and maybe pop those down, and it just kind of explodes with color and greetings and messages and movement. You just can't go wrong. Okay, Teresa used, this is out of the Seascapes and Sand collection, very timely. And for her base, she used the solid cardstock. So you see the 3 blues, you've got the brown, which is what she's used, a coral, and a tan. Pretty useful colors. So that became her base. Then she went into the 6x6 pack to make the, to do for the papers. So this is the sheet that she used on the front of her card. So you can see it just works beautifully. And you can do 2 layers. And she used the same top of it on the inside of those pieces. For this, she used another sheet. Whoops, where are you? There it is. How cute is that? Just to cut that in half and use it right there. As is typical for Teresa, she allowed the card to be the mat around everything, so that just saves a step. Now let's go to the inside of our card. So here she has used the die cuts, and the die cuts just do a great job. In fact, let me show you what she has done. So that many thanks that's on the slider, it's right here. This is one of the cutouts that are in the 6x6 pack, so that's good. Let's see, you can see the jellyfish right there. That is that tag. And then we have this one, which is this. And then she's added Blessed and another cutout. She's got die cuts right there. Good vibes only. That's a really fun thing. In fact, it's right there. So that just works so, so nicely. Now, I love what Teresa does with ribbons. The woman, I think, is just brilliant. And you can see a bit of her handiwork right there. So she has taken some of the ribbons, actually very few of them, just out of the, this is the blue ribbon set, and just looped it through there and then knotted it with jute twine, which is just, it's a great way. If you don't have much ribbon, that's a great way to use it. And then she did another knotted piece right here with the twine, and then she kind of curled the ends like you would do curling ribbon. So that does a nice job. Now that bit of sparkle that I think you're seeing, that is the use of these. This is Island Breeze sparklets. We use them a lot with shaker cards, but they do a really nice job of giving a bit of shine and a bit of dimension. So really fun. So once again, what you might see when you receive this card, come on guys, okay, so it comes that way, you open it up, and it just explodes. Very fun. Okay, I have one more for you, and this is it. Speaking of exploding color, okay, this is using Secret Garden, and let me open this up. Let me slide it, and look what the woman has done. There is a secret garden in this. Just really, really fun. Okay, it's just sliding over and just really nice. Okay, so let me show you what she's done. In fact, the base of this is the Secret Garden cardstock. You can see all the colors that you get. And the papers that she's used come out of the 6x6. So you see that consistency in all of her cards is to use the 6x6s, excuse me, for the front, for doing the areas of her card. So the front of her card, the back of it, as well as on that pocket, because that's going to be seen, as well as if you want to on the inside of the card. So that works really nicely. Same thing as with the others. She took advantage of the die cuts, and you can see that happy birthday, great big happy birthday. There is another tag that's holding this one. But the star of the show is the Secret Garden chipboard. And look at that. Now there are 20 pieces, and I believe Teresa used every single one on this card. So you can see that she made a scene with them. So she's got each of the pieces, all of those coneflowers in the center there. They are stable because she's glued them kind of overlapping a little bit. And that just does a really nice job. There we go. There you can see that. She also added a butterfly. She did the same thing on the tabs. And you can see how these extra little curving pieces are curving up her die cuts and just do a beautiful job, an absolutely beautiful job. She even has a butterfly right there, so it kind of peeks up, especially when the box is more fully engaged. Now, are you seeing a flash of shine? There you go. Now, the way that she did that is she took the Secret Garden and she used the tri-blend markers, and you know that's a favorite of ours around here because you're going to get 3 colors in one pen. And Teresa, you'll see in her instructions, by the way, the instructions for everything are down below in the gallery. So she did use, which is a favorite of hers, this is the 24 piece. Now this is over $100, but it is a good value. If you're not quite ready to go that far, you can buy them individually and they're really a good price. So as I said, you're going to get 3 colors. So you're going to be able to do what Teresa has done. Let me put my hand behind here. So you can see the various colors. She's done shading on everything. Darker toward the center, lighter, and that's easy to do because you get one pen. But she wasn't finished. So she did all of that coloring. Just keep it right here if you want to. Then she used a Versamark ink pad and went over all of the pieces and then poured on clear embossing powder and then tapped it off and then heated this with a heat gun, and that way you are going to get that shine, and it just has a richness to it. You don't have to. You'll get a matte look, and that's perfectly fine too. So you can see Teresa's been having a great time with this, and I have to tell you, I am so pleased to have this fabulous folded cards, the sliding pop-up box card. Very unique, and I bet you will love it, but your recipients will be over the moon happy. Thank you for joining us. On the right-hand side of your screen, as you would expect, there's a very special money saver, as we do every time we have a webisode. I want to thank you so much for joining us and for being the best part of paperwishes.com.